to Two Halves.
Two Halves.
Two Halves. I'm Leslie.
I'm Emily.
And we're going to talk about some things in sports, and we'll have some fun because Emily's going to play a game.
I sure am. I'm going to play
What are you playing?
A game of FIFA 20. I've started a women's tournament. Tournament if you're from the East Coast. Tournament if you're from the Midwest. I will be playing primarily as the US, but I will play through all 5 games to the finals regardless. And may the best man win.
I believe we have some terms of this tournament.
Yeah, so if I, against the computer, win, you get to do a deed of my choosing.
Sure do.
And that's all the rules. It's not really all the rules.
There's if you win, I complete a challenge of your choice.
Yes.
And I'm not looking forward to that. So go computers.
And what happens if you win?
You will complete a physical challenge of.
It's a physical challenge.
Well, I haven't landed on that yet, so put a pin on that.
Okay.
Put a pin on that.
Fair enough.
We are playing China.
We are.
In a cup that is not the World Cup.
It is not unlike the World Cup.
But speaking of the World Cup, our wonderful person who we like to refer to as our cool Aunt Julie Foudy.
Cool Aunt Julie.
Has recommenced her podcast, Laughter Permitted, with her World Cup week. And one of her guests was Carli Lloyd.
Sure was.
And she had some thoughts.
She did have some thoughts. She pretty much described 2017 to 2019 as the lowest point of her life.
The lowest.
And
which we'll give that to her. We'll give that to her. That was the lowest point of her life.
Sure. This is a time where she was training and preparing to go to a World Cup and won a World Cup. Is the worst time of her life. Now, Carli Lloyd is a very talented player, but this conversation was super interesting to me.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. I think it was surprising to some people. I don't think it was that surprising to me personally. Oh, come on. Let's go. Sorry. Carli's never been the, peppy, cheerful, hey, everything's great and everything's fine.
She's not. And I mean, we don't necessarily have to have everyone. It's okay that she's not the peppy one. I feel like we could hold space for someone who's not the peppy cheerleader type.
Sure. And there's a lot of folks who aren't the peppy cheerleader type or aren't even outgoing per se.
For sure. For sure.
I will say that I think Carli Lloyd is super honest about what this process is like. And I kind of respect that. I also worry about her a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like there was a but at the end of that.
There is a but at the end of that in that she acknowledges that she doesn't have control over this process, but I don't know that she's really taken that to heart. Or that she's really accepted that.
Yeah, there is one thing. There's always that friend who's like, yeah, no, I've accepted that things are outside of my control and that there are things that I can't, always deal with, and then their life is a bit of a mess.
Sure. And Carli wants to be able to control this. She, it seems, thinks that if she does the work and if she has all of the talent that she does, then she deserves a spot on that team. However, the criteria by which this team is made up is very much out of her control. It's very much not her job.
And it's a very deep talent pool on the United States women's national team.
She's 37 years old.
She's no matter how fit, how much work you put, and there's no doubting the amount of work she's put into, there are certain limits to what that can achieve.
Yeah, especially as we get older, men or women, athletes, non-athletes, you start to feel it. I have 2 glasses of wine and my knees hurt the next day. So that's
hard.
Just a thing.
It's so hard waking up after that.
But, I think what I'm worried about for Carli is that the end of her career is coming faster than she's ready for, or ready to accept. And I don't know how she's going to deal with it once soccer's over.
I think that's a fair point, because I feel like, as much as, you know, whatever her relationship with Jill Ellis was, I feel like Jill was kind of giving her a bit of a transitionary role, where it's like, okay, you were a very key player in 2015, but now we're going to give you this role where you're on the bench, where you're going to be this super sub player, where we'll need you in the last 10 minutes. And it seemed like she didn't like that.
She definitely didn't like it. And
the way she played.
She brought up as well that it's all in the delivery. Julie Foudy did a really good job, actually, of asking these questions.
And Julie's the best.
She's pretty great.
She had donuts.
She always has donuts. Retirement is treating her well, or at least in terms of playing years. Oh, I'm so close to scoring. So she did a really good job of asking her about that, of like, you know, come the Olympics, like if the new coach comes in and says, hey, I've got a spot for you, but you're going to play maybe 20 minutes a game and you're going to be coming off the bench, would you take it? And at first she kind of said, no, I'm not interested in that, which...
That seemed to be what I was taking away from that. It seemed like she was very dead set on, like, Carli Lloyd, starting 11, take no substitute. Even if it was like Carli Lloyd, starting 11, subbed out after 30 minutes, which is like, that's not a universe we live in.
No, it's not. Because you want to save your subs as long as possible. That said, she kind of later said, well, it's kind of all in how that message is delivered to me. And what I take from that is that the delivery from Jill Ellis didn't go so great. Jill Ellis is nothing but complimentary of Carli's professionalism in this thing, but I think for me what sums it up really is the comparison of Carli to Abby Wambach, which Jill said Abby Wambach embraced the role of coming off the bench and being whatever her team needed in that moment, whereas Carli kind of just dealt with it. And I think that doesn't have a long-term role of just dealing.
Well, it's a hard transition, and we wish Carli Lloyd the best, because she's a talented player.
Also, really respect her honesty.
Yeah, respect her honesty, respect the work she's put in, and also she's a girl from Jersey. You don't want to mess with that.
Right. Deadlock. I
had nothing to nothing.
No goals. Winning in possession, but I gotta turn that into some goals. So on to the second of our two halves.
She's been spending too much time playing NHL. She's sorry.
It's true.
All right. So what we like to do in the second half, this is what you're learning now. But what we like to do is we like to play a game.
We like games.
Survivor is back, and it has two athletes on their roster. We have Tom Laidlaw, formerly of the New York Rangers and Los Angeles Kings. Best known for taking 156 penalty minutes over 196 games. So, that was his idea of scoring goals. And Elizabeth Basil? I'm sorry, Elizabeth. Silver medalist in the 400-meter individual medley, and a bronze in the 200-meter backstroke in the 2012 games. So it's a pretty stacked lineup of athletes. One would think Survivor is well built for athletes, so... Oh, she feels shame.
So much shame. It's the group stage. We're fine. We're getting warmed up. Anyway, continue about Survivor.
Athletes, they're physically fit.
Yep.
They're good team players.
In theory.
They're determined.
Sure.
They're adaptable.
In theory.
Theoretically. All that said, who would you pick to lead your dream team?
To lead my team? Oh, I have to pick
Let's say you could pick 3 to 4 castaways in this allotted time.
Okay. My first pick.
Hold on, I gotta pick.
She's gotta find hers. I'm gonna still keep going with my first pick. My first pick is a person who I don't think many people know is an Olympian, or at least that's not what they know her from. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I do.
Who is it?
It's a champion of the Octagon and the Olympic rings. Ronda Rousey.
It absolutely is Ronda Rousey.
That's a good
Ronda
pick.
Rousey is due for a comeback in terms of the media eye. Like, she's doing great in the WWE. I think this just expands her likability portfolio.
She
I
can use
also
that a
think
little bit.
she's terrifying.
Little bit.
And it would be great to
Little
see
bit.
her just run an island. So, yeah.
Yeah.
She's my first pick.
See, I did the complete opposite of that. My first pick is Simone Biles.
Dang it, that was my third pick. Come
Yeah.
on.
Why would you put Simone Biles at third?
Because she's my anchor. It's
I
like
feel
a
like
relay.
I feel like she has tremendous skill in physical challenges.
Sure.
Her balance for one, like all those physical challenges that they have are like walk across this weird tiny plank, and like she
Sure.
could like just ferry people over if she wanted to. Simone Biles. Who doesn't love Simone Biles?
Yeah, I would watch Simone Biles do literally anything.
Oh, so close.
Okay.
Second pick. Who you got?
Ooh, my second pick is, I don't know if I had a second pick ready. My second pick is gonna be, I think I'm gonna pick Tom Daley.
Tom Daley.
British diver Tom Daley. He's small.
Ooh, he
People
swims.
like him. He swims. There's a lot of good there.
Swimming has done well on Survivor.
It has, and he's just very likable. Like, I think the whole country of England fell in love with him that summer,
Yeah.
and
British boys are swoony.
yeah, and also, yeah, he's just fun. So some youth, some energy, and some swimming skills.
With my second pick, I pick Johnny Weir.
Johnny Weir, you're gonna put him on an island.
I will, because I think he's gonna have a lot of fun with the social game.
I think that's a Chaos Monkey pick, and maybe I'm doubting him, but there's not a lot of.
I mean, like, we don't know. I feel like his Survivor skills are a little questionable, but
Yes.
I feel like he would have fun with the social game.
Oh, he would absolutely have fun with the social game. I'm not sure. You know, he's used to ice sports. So
Yeah, I know. You have to put him in a warm weather environment.
it's
That'll
gonna
be a little tricky.
different. It's gonna be a little different for him.
Who do you got for number 3?
Number 3 was gonna be Simone Biles because I.
Put Simone Biles number 3. That's
Again,
fine.
she's
It's
my
fine.
anchor. It's a relay
fine.
race.
It's fine.
I had sound logic that was respectful. Let's be
Respectful.
very clear.
Respectful.
I would watch Simone Biles do anything. My third pick, and I apologize right now for the whiteness of my picks up front. But this is a person who proved that she can kind of deal with getting hurt and keep going. Oh God. Okay. And that's gonna be Carrie Strug.
Carrie
She's a
Strug.
personal hero of mine growing up. I was real into the '96 Olympics.
Who wasn't?
Got me back into gymnastics as a child.
Who
That
wasn't
didn't
into
go
the
anywhere.
'96 Olympics
It was
amongst our age group?
Our age group, it was very strong. Come on, Kristen Press. I got 77 minutes in, and I need a goal. Yeah, so Carrie Strug, famously very injured in the '96 Olympics,
Very adaptable to her circumstances.
did the job anyway. And also, she's not like super young anymore, so I think she brings a good level of experience that you get from going into the real world after an Olympic career. So yeah, that's my third pick. Who is your third pick? Also, it's really not fair that you have a computer while we're doing this, but that's
Well,
fine.
it's not my fault you decided that you were going to play video games during this. That was your choice, so...
It's kind of long.
I'm torn between 2, so I'm just going to pick one, because one is kind of my Chaos Monkey.
Johnny Weir wasn't your Chaos Monkey, to be very clear.
But since we're pressed for time, I'm just going to say my Chaos Monkey was Hope Solo. Because she was going to come to that island and she was going to fuck it up.
She absolutely was. Oh boy. Do you think she'd go out early or late?
I think that depends on how late she wanted to go out.
Hope Solo leaves when Hope Solo wants to
Hope
leave.
Solo leaves when she wants to, because, oof. We are getting into the last few minutes of the match. Your Chaos Monkey you pick really quick.
I don't know if I have one. You took my Simone Biles, so,
Make it quick.
I don't know. I don't have one.
All right, she doesn't have one. We're going to go into our final speed round called Who is This Candle?
Oh god.
It is a fall-themed candle. The outside is very festive. You're allowed to sniff.
Ooh. That smells like pumpkin.
It does have a very seasonal
Alyssa
name
Nair
to
is
it.
crushing it right now. It has a seasonal name.
Pumpkin is one of the words. 3 letters.
pumpkin spice latte.
No, that was one of the candles I almost bought though. Think fall. Think food is another. I'll give you another
Pumpkin patch
Nope.
something.
Patch is closer.
Pumpkin patchouli.
No. I don't know.
I'm giving up. I don't know. I've lost this one. And we're running late on time. Let's
If
go.
you're thinking, what do you bake usually?
Pumpkin spice cookies. Pumpkin pie.
pumpkin
pie.
bread?
Sure.
Pumpkin bread is a thing that is often baked in the fall. So this
Okay.
candle is a wonderful 3-wick candle. It is entitled Harvest Pumpkin Bread. It kind of smells like it. It doesn't really. It's got like a little hit of cinnamon
Okay.
in it, maybe. But yeah,
That's game.
that is smell that candle, and that is game. Did they win?
China won.
China won. What
Lost
a
to China.
stunning upset
Stunning upset
in
for
the
the
in the
US.
first game of group play. Devastating.
Devastating. We had some good
Devastating.
chances. My substitution management was not great. But you know, this
You know, a
group
lot of
stage,
things are said about Jill Ellis's substitution management.
Well, Jill Ellis isn't in the game. This is on me. Jill's retired now. Let her be.
Let her be. Let her be. Let her be. Shout out to Jill Ellis.
Shout out to
I'm
Jill
sorry.
All the respect, and yeah, that's it.
That's that. Thank you for joining us for two halves.
To have
Two halves.